G'day and welcome to a new video. As you can see, lawn is looking a little bit rough. So look, there is part one to this video where I've done the scalp and the scarify. If you haven't seen that and you've clicked on this one, please go check it out. But basically what I've done is I have thinned out this lawn. I've taken my rotary mower across it, or first of all cylinder mower, cut down on my cylinder at 16mm after scarifying and then down to 12mm. Then have come out yesterday, I have scalped it nice and low, cleaned it up, scarified a couple of times. So really digging out a lot of excess dead material, thatch. It's super thin now, and I'm clearing out all that debris before winter is gonna really help this lawn look fantastic for these cooler months. And yeah, there's absolutely no need to be worried about cutting down this low with my lawn variety, Kikuyu. To be honest, this level right now, there is so much grass everywhere to rejuvenate and come back through. Even buffalo, even if you did this to buffalo right now, there's, you know, it doesn't look too good. It looks pretty dead, but what's here, these stolons and the rhizomes underneath, no rhizomes for buffalo, but it's just gonna help it come back through. I'll fertilize, I'll be watering regularly, and it's just gonna come back to life really quickly. But typically with warm season grasses, we're looking at a spring renovation, getting in and getting stuck into it. And then with cool season grasses, we're doing it more so in autumn time, coming into those cooler months where cool season grasses perform best. Late in the season, it's a good idea and it's a good opportunity to address any issues you've got. If you've got overly thick and thatchy, spongy grass, doing what I've done here, cutting away excess growth, scarifying, it's a good time to do that. You might just do a slightly lower cut and core aerate because you really want to improve your soil profile. You might have a lot of compaction. You might have a smaller yard where you've got kids on there a lot, and so you might just grab a manual corer and just do a little bit of that to open up your soil profile before winter. Or you might top dress. So you might be top dressing because you've got bumpy areas that you really want to level out, or you might be looking to improve things like your drainage by top dressing with sand, or add organics with compost, with soil. So my goals is pretty much all of those things. I want to maintain about 12mm after this reno, so clearing out the thatch, really important for that. And throughout winter, especially where I'm standing right now and down along this back area alongside this garden bed, gets really I can't think of words, gets really soggy. Gets really soggy, so I'm especially there, as well as throughout the rest of the yard. I want to be core aerating and top dressing with sand to improve that. So in the end, it's a full-blown renovation. I'm recording this in the last week of summer, coming into autumn. We've got some fantastic growing weather still left to repair this lawn, so yeah, I've got no concerns about timing. And I did say in my last video as well, you've probably still got another couple of weeks in my climate, Southeast Victoria, to do a full-blown renovation safely. Just be aware, if you don't get recovery, that maybe something that's actually going on if you've watered it enough is that you might have deficiencies in your soil. You might need a soil test. Here is the good old Bluebird corer that I picked up from Kennard's Hire this morning, which I have used and you've seen before. This aerator can get some mixed reviews, should we say, and I think it's not the way that it works is like rolling on a drum, and it sort of drags itself forward and pulls out cores. That way you can see I've just started to play with it a bit here. Over in this corner I've put a lot of sand, so there's a decent sand cap on top, but you're pulling out these cores and it doesn't go as deep, and it's not quite as effective as cam driven machines where the actual aeration tines are going up and down and being powered straight down into the ground to pull out a core, whereas this is kind of, as I just explained, is rolling itself forward like that. So yeah, look, either way, these are very easily accessible at Kennard's. I was sponsored to use this machine last renovation, not today, paying full rate, and yeah, look, they're easy, accessible. If you've got other options in your area, it's might something you want to look at. To me, these machines do the job. They pull out a core. Are they the best in the world? No, they're not. And I don't think anyone, even at Kennard's, would try to claim that. But yeah, do the job. So make sure you set these machines to a low revs, low walking speed. It's even got a big attention sign here, say set slow walking speed. Just allows you to pull out a nicer core. You want to make sure my soil, it's nice clay here, and so recent rain that we've had and everything, it's not as dry as it could be for this time of year. So I didn't need to worry about watering it, giving it a bit deep water beforehand or anything like that, which you might need to do. If you've got a super dry, crusty, hydrophobic soil, you might need to drown it before you try to aerate. So yeah, I can just rip straight into this and then pick up the cores with the rotary mower. So you can see there, despite the system, the mechanism of these Bluebird aerators, still pulling out some decent cores. Some of them are breaking up a bit. The soil is drier than it would normally be. It's still pretty good, pretty moist. It's very rich, nice soil that, isn't it? And some parts here, like around my trenches, very, very sandy from where I've done that backfilling and whatnot throughout the season. Yeah, this is my second core for this growing season, which is a lot, and typically once would be plenty to core aerate your lawn in a season. Not a lot of times, unless maybe someone owned a corer, has a business or something, and that's a reason to do it. There's a lot of benefits. It's a reason that people skip it is because of the cost, and it's a pain to go and pick it up and do the hire and blah, blah, blah. It is really, really beneficial though, and that's where core aeration, look, it's probably something for me ongoing that I am gonna do every single spring renovation, just because. But you know, if you're a general home enthusiast, general lawn person, then probably once every 2 years, you know, probably when you first get into it and you're working on your home lawn, you know, for the first 3 years or whatever, you might want to be doing it every year. And then after that, once your lawn's at a really good state, nice soil profile, every couple of years is probably going to be enough, depending on your soil profile. So our final step for today is coming across with the rotary mower and picking it up. So I've scalped on a number 2, which is about 10 millimeters. So I'm going to come across here. A mistake you can make, because I'm really squishing these cores here, but a mistake you can make is setting your mower up too high. So we're using the suction of the rotary mower to pull these cores up into that catcher. So a mistake that can be made is putting it up too high. I'm gonna go probably a number 3, that should be fine, maybe a 4, we'll see. Lawn is fairly level, just got little undulations and stuff here and there. So I'll clean up those cores, and there's not much to that. So I'll clean those up, and then Friday, a couple of days time, we're top dressing. So can't wait for that. But actually, my next thing is product applications. So a lot of people want to know about applying particularly granular products with your lawn renovation, and when you can do it. You can do it before top dressing, you can do it after top dressing. I am happy to do it after on my front lawn, because I can walk around the outside and spread fertilizers, etc., without trampling over it. But what you'll see by the end of this video is a lawn that I have put out a nice amount of top dress. I've come across with my leveling rake, I've got it bang on, I've topped up little spots, and I've got it exactly how I want it. So the last thing that I then want to do is get this little spreader and be walking around backwards and forwards all over this lawn, putting my footprints all through it and wrecking that hard work. So now, especially with these core holes opened up, to get your fertilizer, your acceloprim, whatever it is, out onto the lawn, that's a perfect time. So Today's top is meant to be 37 degrees. When the sun was out earlier, it was baking, but it's gotten really cloudy and it feels a lot cooler now, which is fantastic. But what I want to put out is my final soil wetter application of the season, especially before the renovation watering to help absorb water in this soil profile. I want to put out my pre-emergent. Autumn is just about to start, so I want to get in quick for those winter weeds, winter grass, clovers, broadleaf stuff, all those sorts of things that come through in winter. So my pre-emergent needs to go out, and I also want to spread a granular fertilizer, which will be the Lawn Tips Proliferate product. So tonight I have football training. Tomorrow night, I can't do it tomorrow during the day. Tomorrow night I'm hoping to come out once kids are in bed, put those products out, water them in. Not ideal, but there's no leaf on the lawn to promote fungal disease on anyway. Not ideal to water at night. So every now and again though, if it's to water in a product, because that's when you've got time in exactly the circumstances or similar that I've just explained, whatever, I'm happy to turn my irrigation on for 4 hours at 8 PM tomorrow night, if that's what it is. And then I'll come out on Friday. So I'm probably not going to do much talking to the camera because I want to chuck it out and get it done. Maybe you've even just been watching it overlaid there. We'll see how I'm feeling when I edit. But yeah, that is this once it's cleaned up, once your cores are cleaned up. Perfect time to get your products on the lawn. And we're back for the final day to get this renovation all finished off. I've got 7 cubic meters of washed sand here. Some of that's going on the nature strip. Some of that is going on that little project section that I'm rotary mowing, which I probably haven't talked about too much on social media this season. But anyway, so I'm putting out about 5 today is the plan. And yeah, Ben on Lawn Tips did a fantastic video the other day, but what I've got here is some really nice sand that's got a good mixture of fine and coarse particles. So it's going to be good for my cylinder mower. And yeah, as he explained really well, if it's too coarse, water's just going to run through it way too easily, and if it's super fine, it's going to compact more. So yeah, watch that video that he put out the other day, really good one. But yeah, going to get all this across the lawn into those core holes and really improve my drainage and my levels going into a lower cut, and also the winter where it's going to be a bit soggier. So same as last reno, I have got the Eco 250 and a mini loader here to be able to put that into there. Look, if ever there was a reason for some reason I couldn't get this machine, then I'd be definitely getting one of these still to load up my gorilla cart, because geez, just makes such a difference to the physicality on your body. I'm gonna start loading this up and chucking it out across the back lawn. This machine does an awesome job of flicking it out nice and evenly. So yeah, look, there's not too much else to say than to just rip into it and just bloody do it. All right, the majority there is put out. I've still got to go around the perimeters and do some touching up. So I'll probably, hopefully about 2 carts worth or something with a shovel, just be able to go around the outsides, make sure that everywhere is nice and even. But apart from that, I'll be able to run the leveling rake around and get that all nice and even. So on this machine, if you ever do use one or you're just curious how it's powering, what you've got to do is you set your speed, and then you've just got to spin this belt that's at the bottom here. So this lever here will make that black belt down there, that will start to spin. And of course that hatch there, open that up, and that will allow the sand to fall through, hit these which are spinning and flicking around to release it like that. So if you want to do a lighter top dress you can just open this flap a smaller amount, but really I think the amount that it does put out by itself on that, you know, most open setting, I've probably had to go over this lawn 4 times or something like that, 4 or 5 times. So, you know, roughly it's putting out, I'd say, I guess, 0.2 of a cubic meter per 100 square meters each pass over the lawn, just rough numbers. And so yeah, for me, it's a must. I'm interested to see how much this sand swallows up the core holes. There was a couple of times there, and something, you know, with the machine that I found is that it was struggling at the start of my passes, my runs, to be able to spit it out a decent distance. And then once it was like sort of half full, then it would really start to go and push. So I was adjusting my speed a little bit and playing with it. So there's definitely a bit of room for user error, user skill, when you are using this to try and, yeah, get it as even as possible. But at the end of the day, coming off the 45s off the back, straight up and down, turning, you're gonna, you know, it's not ever gonna be absolutely perfect. I feel like as well, the outsides of the throw width is where it comes out the thickest too. It's not perfectly 100% even, but either way, it's a very nice distribution that it gets you very, very close to where you want to be going. So by the time I run around with a leveling rake, get it all nice and even, we'll be kicking goals. And if you are wondering about this section here, why it's not getting renoed, it's because when I finish this, I'm going to be using a mini loader again to come through here, collect soil that I pulled out from when I did the trampoline, to drive through here and put it into those veggie garden beds. So I don't want to beautifully reno this when I'm going to be driving over it again. There is a weird part of me that does still enjoy a little bit of hand top dressing. I don't mind flicking it out. Again, the video from Lawn Tips from Ben that I mentioned or referred to at the start, he had a really good description in there about top dressing. He did mention he's seen a bit online. I don't know, hopefully I'm not one in the past who's been using this bad technique he was talking about. But look, you're just trying to get it out fairly flat and fairly even. I think sometimes if I'm trying to go really heavy, then I'll more so have the shovel, I'll come in like that and it'll be a really heavy shovelful. Whereas when I'm trying to flick it a little bit more evenly, I'll keep the shovel face sort of more so pointing to the sky. So anyway, fight me, Ben. Geez, that little project patch down there where I'm really excited for that build, turf install, etc. Hopefully start next spring. Geez, how's the colour on it? Especially with the contrast now of all this sand. But anyway, running this leveling rake, which if you're new here, is 1 metre wide, beautiful flat bars on here that are going to help to just push around the sand, find the undulations, find the low spots. You know, if there's a mound here and a mound here and a low spot in the middle, it's going to beautifully level off in between, keep that sand in that low spot. So running around with it now and yeah, pushing that sand in there. It's definitely a physical job. I don't know if it looks that physical to watch, but it definitely is. Although normally, you know, without using the machinery I've used, I'm a lot more stuffed by this point in the process. So definitely not as bad for today. Something that I have definitely decided while doing this top dress is that 5 cubes, this will be the last time I'll go this heavy. As you can see, the sand rubs in really, really well. And yeah, after this one, I'm at a point where I really don't need to do big, heavy top dresses. There's something where last winter, I was sort of feeling the bumps and the undulations. And I'm sitting there going, yeah, I want to put out 6 cube, maybe 7 cube, like do a big heavy top dress, because, you know, in general, you want to aim for about 1 cube per 100 square meters. So I'm like, yeah, I want to do a massive top dress, which I did. I think I put out six cubes. So 1.2 per 100 square is a lot. And I was really meticulous with topping it up, and when I was mowing in the weeks after, I'd hit a little bump or something, top a little bit of sand in there. So I was really meticulous, and that absolutely paid off. But yeah, certainly once this top dress is done, then already my plan at the moment, things could change with how things feel over next winter, but I'm already thinking, yeah, probably 4 cube next spring. If anything, heavy top dresses will purely be related to drainage. If I go through this winter again, I'm like, nah, look, need a lot more core aeration, need to build up, you know, the sandiness of the profile. That's when I'll go that heavy. This tool, really important, does a great job. You know, to me, it's a really valuable lawn renovation tool. Just here, what I'm about to sort out, coming off this little slope here, does go down. There has been the odd time when I mow at a certain angle and I can scalp into this little mound here, especially if I'm coming off mowing on a diagonal to the back fence. So I just want to gradually over time try and make this particular spot, instead of being a real ramp like that, to just get a better slope to it. So that's what I'll finish off with here, is trying to sort out this slope. In terms of watering, I'm probably going to be looking at around about 5 a.m, 11 a.m, 3 p.m, something around that vicinity. But to start with for tomorrow, I'll water at 5 a.m, and I'll just keep an eye on it. Probably, yeah, around 10 or so, I'll be looking to see how much it's drying out, because yeah, in springtime, I didn't really get to see that well because we had so much rain. So barely any rain, or none in the 10-day forecast. So we're purely relying on the irrigation, which is great to have. Yeah, so I'll just suss it out and see on my system. I'll do 5 minutes per zone at 5 a.m, and then assess it during the day from there, and eventually just set it and potentially adjust on 35-degree days compared to 20-degree days. But look, hope you have enjoyed that video, as well as part 1 where we did the scalp and the scarify. Always really enjoy this stuff. I have got a full comprehensive lawn care guide available on my website. So look, it literally covers everything, every consideration, from waste disposal, variations for different grass types. I consulted with some really, you know, well-respected names in the industry, like Ben, who I've talked about in this video, Lawn Tips, who, you know, supplies me my products and that sort of thing. So yeah, I'm really, really proud of that renovation guide. So if you know, want to get more, you want to have all-in-one document to easily refer to, whether you get a renovation done pretty soon or you save it and you get set for next spring. Yeah, like I said, I'm really proud of that document, and I think it is really, really valuable. So check it out. And yeah, look forward to the recovery on this. I am looking to be, yeah, I reckon I'll be cylinder mowing in about 12 days time. Will be the first cylinder cut on here. So yeah, look forward to that. And I'll see you in the next video. Have a bloody good Sunday, if you're watching when it's uploaded. Anyway, sort this bit out. How good? How good?